Welcome to Strange Stories from the Stage with Todd Strange. It's been a minute. We got Sam Ridley coming on, amazing comedian. He'll be joining us soon. And it's been a minute, so sorry. And thank you for those that are still listening. I really appreciate you. Anyway, hey, we've got Sam. Good, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Am I good?
You're good. You sound buttery goodness, man. It's good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Boy, was it a jump start to the morning. Like,
Dude, I had a rough it was a little by the way, I'm recording, but we can edit any of this. I just usually hit the ground running. If there's something good, then we'll keep it. You know what I'm saying?
okay, all right, I'm with you.
Is that cool with you, or do you want me to do you want to wait and
No,
talk anything
no.
out before? Okay.
If this is your format, then we're good.
It's loose as all get out. Yeah, it's really I mean, I don't know what I'm doing yet, so, like, I'm just experimenting and having interviews with basically mostly comedians and singers because that's my world mostly is comedians
Right.
and singers. Mostly singers and now comedians. So, and, the whole bit about it is to find, great stories that you've had on stage where things may have gone wrong, but somehow either you got out of it or it was such a fail that it was such a great learning experience, but hilarious to look back on, possibly, hopefully, and that you're willing to share the story on to the world or to the 7 people that listen, whatever it is. So, but yeah, how are you doing? You just got back from touring, yeah?
Yeah, I just came back from doing the Midwest. That has oddly been what my morning has consisted of, is still going over pieces of that.
Oh,
Um,
you're editing.
no, 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 not even editing. Oh gosh, man.
What?
I want your show to be fun. All right. So
No, this is the tea. This is the tea. You could this will give us an intro to your life, actually. I want to know more personally cuz like we met each other for a hot minute
yeah,
at a competition that is probably still buried in so many NDAs that we can't talk about it, but
yeah.
which by the way, you're one of the funniest. You're so fucking funny, dude. You're really
Thank
funny.
you,
And I
man.
was
And
so
see, that
great.
was how we ended up
Yeah.
wait, you could hear me that whole time?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Wow. Okay, that's not supposed to be happening. We might need to
It's
start over.
okay. That's fine. Are you not getting? Because I'm getting a feed, at least in my cans, I got a feed, and it's not saying no audio. It would say no audio, I think, over here.
No, okay, because my
Because
external was muted, so maybe something's not connected. But if you said my audio is clear, that's interesting. So that's
it's
great.
very clear. Yeah, it's fine. And usually, no, it's clear. It's good.
Okay.
And it would say,
Okay.
I think it would say something. I can, yeah, I think, let me just double check. Are you, but it's working now, right? Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
I have your, go, yeah, no, it's coming through. I've got the meters are all hitting at the right peak and everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it and it was going crazy over here. So I was like,
Well,
all right.
I have a three-legged dog right now, connected to my computer. My interface, the whole screen just went black totally. It doesn't work at all. And so it's like a braille work of like, I think I have my SM7B on this input. I bet that click. I think that it's a duet. It's an old, I don't know if you know that interface at all. It's an Apogee duet. It's older and it's really solid, but the screen just went black on it and I can't I'm like literally I think this is about right. I'm just going by feel for everything, like to
Okay.
switch everything. It's
Okay.
nuts. It's like it's silly. It's silliness, yeah. But it's fine. It works. It's still I don't want to pay for a new one. I mean, it's like they're expensive, It's like I don't want to have to pony up for that. Um
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, okay, what I was saying about it
Sorry
is,
about that.
no, you're absolutely good. That was a, I don't know, technical mishap.
Yep.
Yeah, I woke up and, doing the Midwest tour that I went on puts me in God, this is not what I planned to talk about, but it's just what's happening. So y'all are getting a
That's
real
okay.
story.
Let's
Yeah,
hear it. No, let's do it.
yeah, I was out there on the road with comedian buddy of mine, Jake Daniels, and he's upset right now um, because
Okay.
he feels like he was mischaracterized on my podcast. And he's
Oh
not
wow.
wrong. He's not right though either.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair.
And there's
Yeah.
just a lot of nuance in it because of cultural differences. just simple and plain. And I hear the disconnect, but I'm also the person that has to sit in the middle of it and try to make the two pieces understand what happened. So to make it make sense, um,
Has this
th-
been released yet? It's always obviously been released. He heard it back and he was like, "Hey, I didn't like the way this played out."
right, and yeah, this is the most recent episode of the show. I think it's called Piss Adjacent. I think is the name of it.
Well,
Uh,
I'm already locked in there.
yeah,
I'll be
illegal
listening to that.
opinions podcast, Piss Adjacent, and I was trying to explain um the dynamic of being in the car with a white man in middle America,
Please tell me more
you
because
know,
this is the
and
no, this is exactly yes. Please.
okay, and like, and please don't take this the wrong. I'm not trying to like necessarily be
Dude,
funny.
I couldn't be whiter. You can say whatever the fuck you want, dude. I'm not offended.
Right. So my podcast is three black men. We're all from different places. We're all military veterans, and they're not comedians. Okay, that's important to note. I feel like,
Yeah,
um,
because they're yeah.
so the nuance to it that I speak of is trying to explain to them. One, I said out loud, he's an ally. You never say that out loud to black people. It sounds weird. See, when I said it to you, you live out here.
That's not no, just that's not something yeah, I live here and I understand that, but I've also yes, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
so it hit the
Yeah.
ears super weird, and I'm sure that it skewed it away, But I mean it genuinely,
Yeah.
and you do, but it's like it's sad we have to say it out loud.
It's the time we're living in, man. It's
Yeah,
the time
so
it's not yeah.
in jest, like I was talking about, not even in jest. Let me skip that. Pretend I didn't say that. I was telling them about the fact that when we ride in the car, like he doesn't really like to hear rap music that has the N word in it, you know. And how after I got off the tour, I really missed the N word in music.
That's a good premise.
Yeah, it kind of is, but it was
That's kind of a
true.
good
It
premise,
was so
yeah.
true, bro, because it was one of them. I just haven't been immersed in my culture at all.
Yeah.
And I just, would like to.
Yeah.
But what that comes across when I try to explain it to two other black dudes is, oh, he didn't want to hear it, but I guarantee he probably say the N word when he just rapping in the car on his own. But to and then I try to always put myself in somebody else's shoes to get a different understanding. So if I'm in Jake's shoes, what I would hear is a mischaracterization of myself because I know he don't do that.
Right, right.
And that's fair. But black people make that joke 10 times a day. I know they say it when they by themselves. It's a very regular thing that gets said, but I guarantee, if you hear it about yourself and it seems like a personal thing, it seems like it's characterizing you and it was wrong. So
If it's not through a comedian's lens where they're just probably fucking with you, yeah, it's like, well, no, really, I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
I could see that. I guess. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I I don't know. It depends, it depends on so many factors. Depends on somebody's age, depends on their generation, depends on when they came up, like it through life, and what
yeah,
decade sometimes. I think,
a bunch of
I mean,
different
I'm old.
things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of and your cultural, really your background, like, it all plays into it. Whether you know it or not, it all plays into yeah, what I'm realizing as I get older. I'm like, oh, this all plays into it. I see now. Okay, I didn't realize that, but now I can see where you're coming from on that for sure.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
nuance to it, and it's such a hard
yeah.
conversation to have because neither side wants to stop doing that thing to each other. You know?
I, I mean, it's arguably funny, right? I mean, I think it can be kind of a fun. If we could just be real, I think it can be kind of a fun jab at times, and it's usually the thing on a podcast that makes me laugh out loud if I'm driving. If we're just going to be honest, like when you're kind of jabbing, when people jab at each other like that, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, this because it almost is like there's there. I hate to say it, but there's almost like a trust that gets established there at that moment. It's like, okay, we're okay. Can we just move
we're
forward?
just this is the
Yeah, we're
stereotype
just
we're kind of going with, and I think that's what happened. But I know what I was
yeah,
trying to do for and explain.
yeah,
I'm sitting there trying to explain. Yeah, he's an ally. And he doesn't do these things, and they go, oh, he definitely do
right.
these things when he's by himself. And I'm like,
God,
but guys, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I felt. But again, like it's a podcast and we just making light of things. So I took
right.
it under, like, as you just put it, in a comedy lens.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand,
Yeah.
If yeah, dude, you don't say no more. I get it. You can like if as a white guy, I think we're kind of always at a prison meal with our with our shoulders up looking over our backs where it's like we don't want anyone coming where we're kind of like, did I say something wrong? We're very cautious, I think, because I think we don't I I don't want to offend anybody, and usually it's the moment that I don't want to offend anybody that I say some stupid shit, or it's like, or you like say something like, they'll say, what did you say? I'm like, no, 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 and then you backpedal, and then it looks, it looks
There's no
exactly
way
like,
to change it at that point, because
no.
like, 'cause hell, your format of the pod is very similar to ours where we don't like cut while we're talking.
No.
Like
Yeah.
it's organic and it's what it was. And because of that, and being a comedian, I think people take the podcast as your material sometimes. And it's like, this is not that,
Yeah.
we're
No.
like, we're not doing a bit. It's just what happened organically in the moment. So
Yeah, no, I think that's a big problem with a lot of the podcasts by comedians. They take it as material because they sometimes will work material out on the podcast, or they'll talk
yeah,
very freely because I think comedians are used to just talking freely, usually just to find it's like the way we write, a lot of times is we're just
talking to
speaking what's up here.
find the truth in it or the funny in it or the concept. Yeah.
Or both, yeah, where it's like, "Oh, I could wiggle that through something that could be a bit," I gotta write that little thing down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's hard not to do
Um,
that in real time when you do comedy.
it's true, and I didn't that's a new thing for me because I never did that, before I started doing comedy, but I always have so many notebooks and, like, notes apps and all these things just, like, ready to go so that if I get something in the car or whatever, I can just, like, say, "I gotta hit that later." So I can bring it to a mic or bring it to a showcase and like sandwich it in the middle of a set that I know is going to work and see
Yep,
if
let
it
me throw it
flies,
in there. Yep, yep.
Yep.
I
Yep.
was the same one with the Notes app. For whatever reason, that was the safe place for my jokes for whatever reason.
Yeah. Notes app's gold. It literally, it looks
Gold,
like gold.
literally.
It's gold on the thing and it's gold, it's like, it's my saving grace when I'm driving because I drive so much and I'll like, hey Siri, write a note and I'll just say, I need to talk about this because I came up with it, and while I'm driving on the 405 or something.
Yeah.
So how was your tour, by the way? How'd it go?
Oh, it went great. It went great. I'm looking
Nice.
forward to going back to some of those places in a couple of months. That we rebooked on the spot in a couple of cases. Um,
Congrats.
it was eye opening, and I think that's why, like, we if everybody's talking, I'm all right. Like the morning started off wild, okay, as he would say, strange. So
Yeah,
like
very
it was, yeah, it just started off in the vein of what we were doing today.
No, it's cool,
Uh,
man.
and
Don't
yeah,
tell
the,
but
the tour was great, and I learned a lot about how how I'm perceived in Middle America, because I think that there's a lot of pre-prejudice that happens between people, because
yeah.
I was aware going into some of them small towns, I'm probably the first black dude or fifth that they've seen in their life sometimes, you know?
I mean, it's wild when you've been to Middle America and you're like, "Wow, this is a different world." Like, it literally is a different world, in my opinion. When I go, I'm like, "Wow, this is not LA."
Yeah. Yeah, it's a completely different world.
Yep.
And then there's also like a tremendous responsibility almost that only we'd have to deal with, where I have to consider when I start my set, I have the opportunity to kind of speak for black people in a way. Like, they don't know what I'm going to say, but they just have this preperception of me. And I have the opportunity to change that about them and black people forever, maybe,
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know?
Yeah, I could see that, especially by being legitimately funny, but also relating something cultural that is almost like a learning I hate to say it's like a learning point, but because you said
It
people
is.
have maybe not seen people, not seen black people, they don't know black people, maybe that's like, oh, this is not, as you said, it's an opportunity to introduce a cultural thing and a really funny thing at the same time that might hit home and say and make somebody understand something. I don't know. Is that kind of what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. That's exactly it. It's just the learning point doesn't. It's not like a point that you're aiming at, but it's just in there.
Yeah.
you know?
It's a result of your comedy and where you come from as a person authentically, I think, is what it is. I mean,
Yeah, I think people gravitate to comics that give them that extra piece, you know?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the ones that kinda let them in a little bit, they'll get on Club Shay Shay and tell you about their life a little bit, type of people. I think those are the people that are starting to get the followers, you know?
Now, yeah, I don't think it's changed all that much. I just think the medium has changed. I think I was, I was in a small town and only, I didn't have a huge diverse background of friends and stuff, but the things that I was pulled to comically and musically were different cultural things completely. So it was like my
That's
way
fair.
of learning too. And so it's like one of my best friends is black growing up, and that is, by the way, that's a cliche thing for a white guy to
Yeah,
say.
see, yeah,
Anyway,
but
sorry.
if it's true, it's true, but that's
It
one of
is
them
true. We
things,
walked to
you
school.
know?
Yeah, we walked to school together. I swear, but we did. We walked to school together, and I remember, like, honest to God, like, we would sit and watch Showtime at the Apollo on Saturday nights back in the day, and watch all the comedians and together we would just hang out. And it was I would never have. This to be really honest, I would never have watched that had I not known Tony. And
Mhm.
I'm so grateful to be like introduced to the things that I kind of go to first now, if that makes sense. I'm like, okay, so it's funny, it's funny to me. Like, I was like, wow, but you don't realize until you look back, you're like, wow, yeah, that guy, we're still very close friends. We're still close friends. No, we really are still close friends, and call each other, and we've known each other since preschool. So, like,
Oh, that's
you
dope.
know, he was my protector. He was like, he was a big guy. He was like, Mr. Strange, don't worry. I I got him. He's a little guy. I'll take care of him. And it was, so he was always, yeah, he was always like yeah, he was just a cool dude, like, that looked out for me, which was really nice.
Like
We looked out
when
for
you
each other
needed it
for a
the
while.
most.
Yeah. When I was a little shit. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get away with stuff. So tell me, so how did this, like, happen? I'm still learning the comedian thing. How did you book a tour, like, Midwest? How does that even happen for you? Like, what's the
Um,
journey on that? What's the path?
Man, like, I give Jake Daniels so much credit for what he does. If y'all don't know who he is, the Lone Jester of comedy.
Look
Jake
him up.
has been doing this for a decade, and he does an average of 300 road dates a year.
That's insane.
Um, 300. Yeah, it is an absolutely insane
That's
number.
insane.
For anybody. And what I feel like I learned, and it's not even like a secret sauce thing. Like, I remember people being like, you're going out for all of this time, you're trucking, you're constantly in the car, you know. And I capped out at about 3 weeks. Like, your boy, I was like,
Sure.
I'm kind of done, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's nothing more than, if anybody's like, what's the secret? How's he do it? Work ethic.
Hustle. Yeah.
Jake Daniels works a million times harder than all of us. It's
Yep.
it's as hard and as easy as that. Um, yeah, he gets up, he makes the calls, he makes it happen for himself in a way that, and I've been doing this for almost 15 years now.
Wow.
14,
That's
14
impressive.
years.
It's amazing.
And the way that I saw him work changed the way I work now. And I know I'm still not doing half of what he normally does, but, like, just the drive of it, there's a tenacity that you gotta have maxed all the way out. Like, I don't know if any gamers is listening, but, like, you build your character and you got your stat
Yep.
points. That part is all the way up to the top for him in a way that some of the most driven comics that I've met over the years don't have.
Yeah.
It's
He
a
has a
self
system. He has a system, right?
It's
I
a
mean,
it's a
that's it.
system and a discipline,
Yeah.
and it's self-regimented. I get up, I do this, I make this move, I keep going. And none of it is anything that any of us can't do.
Yeah. It's just like, I've noticed that makes sense to me. Especially with just listening to you, to famous comics, to super super top tier famous comics where they all say the same thing. It's about the structure and the work ethic, and it's so much about what you have to do for yourself and structure it yourself.
Yeah.
That I mean, that's it. It's like I'm sure, like you said you were in the military, right?
Mhm.
I did that did that process help your discipline and your work ethic, would you say?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A matter of fact,
Okay,
I would say it did the polar opposite, and I'll tell you why.
interesting.
I'll
I
tell
wanna know
you.
why now.
So, yes, the military will give you, you get up, get your shit done, yada, yada, yada. Actually, this is perfect for what we're talking about right here.
Awesome.
There's a general that did a speech, and he was giving a rah-rah speech talking about you polish your boots and you get your uniform perfect, and then when you come out in the morning, we're still gonna tell you we found something wrong. Why? Because we want you to keep striving for greatness. We want you to keep moving forward, and that's bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why. Um, it
I
sounds
wanna
great in a
Yeah,
military speech of we want you to
sure.
be better. What it builds for you mentally over time is a complex of I'm never good enough, no
Yep.
matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, you know? And I left the military. I started doing my comedy still when I was in the military still. And then when I got out, I was beat up by that process for 20 years, you know?
Man,
So it
yeah,
made it real hard for me to accept no's and to want to be anything more than great on stage. But if you can get past that part of yourself and be fine with hearing 50 no's to get the one yes and fill up your calendar, you're going to be fine.
yeah.
So the
It's
military ended
yeah,
up being the thing that made me not want to hear no so much, you
I
know?
believe that. Yeah. It's not uncommon. I mean, I did an opera, I'm an opera singer, and I did an opera about I guess it's been about 10 years now, and it was based on, Marines. It was called Fallujah, in fact. It was about tours in Fallujah and stuff, and I had to play a real guy who got killed, in during service, in Fallujah, and, working with, like, military actual, people that were in the military, that were there, that talked about we would talk backs, after each, and the whole thing was about PTSD, but just hearing about the training, exactly, I'm hearing a lot of similarities about what you say to what they say when I had to work and interview them and talk to them just so I could feel like one of the characters, not characters, one of the people, the real people that had their
Yeah.
boots on the ground, it was a oof, yeah, but that is something, that is a commonality, I would say, what you say, of having to be, and it's a commonality of what I do too, in a really interesting, totally different way, but the perfectionism,
Mhm. Yeah, there's a
the
perfectionism in
need
it.
to be perfect, and you can't fuck it up,
Yeah, and that's the hardest part. Like yeah, to not say a whole bunch of extra shit. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, but I'm glad I'm but that
I was like I'm about to just reiterate what he said. That's the hardest part.
No, I say I tend to do it too much myself. I'm learning on my podcast to, like, shut the fuck up and let people talk too. So if you can always tell me to shut the fuck up, and that's fine.
You're driving the train, man.
I'm trying to drive the train. Yeah, it's a little, as I said, three-wheeled car down the 405 at about 90 with the windows down, but that's how my life feels right now. So, yeah. Right now it's a little hectic. We're expecting our first child soon, and yeah,
Congratulations, man.
thanks. I'm 52, and
Oh
here I
man.
am, an opera singer trying to be a comedian. Well, I am a comedian now, but, like, trying to really,
I was about
really
to say, don't
dig
don't
in.
do that to yourself. Very
I'm not
talented
gonna do that.
individual y'all are listening to
Thanks.
here on stage.
Uh,
Like, yeah, that was one of the
Back
I was like, oh shit, he making me pay attention here. Like, So
Oh,
and
that's
then
nice.
it was stacked. It was stacked. There was a lot of good comics on that.
That was that
Yeah.
was a really interesting experience. That was a validation because I was so busy as a singer, I was kinda like, "Well, maybe I'll just hang this shit up for a while," and then I got the call to do that, and it went like it went, and I was like, "Well, maybe this is validation. Don't maybe keep chopping at this for a little bit. And our friend, our mutual for well, you known TJ for a long time. Just throw her name out,
Yeah.
but like, but she was even saying to me, she goes, "No, you've got the don't keep going." And then when I found out who she was and like all the things she's connected, I was like, "Oh, okay, that was a good opinion.
Yeah, that's
I should
somebody
I should
her
pocket
opinion
that
weighs a lot. Yeah.
a
Yeah,
lot." Yeah,
she
I was
a
like, "Oh,
whole
you
lot.
do things."
She does
I was
real
like, "You do."
things.
She does
Yeah.
real things. Yeah.
I met
And
her,
then
doing a pilot for the CW.
yeah, the CW,
Gosh,
my
8 or 9
god.
years ago. It was a different, comedy whatever that, of course, never got aired and all of that.
A million of
But
them.
that was
Yeah.
like one of my first forays into, comedy wood, like seeing how it goes when they try to put comedians on a TV show, known or not. And, it's such an interesting experience. Such an interesting
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Were you able to riff at all when you or did you have to stick to the script, or what was the format?
No, it was the format was like a bracket style. I guess kind of like we did a little bit, not to give too much
Yeah,
away, but like it was a
right,
bracket style and like a March Madness sort of thing, and you get down to the
right.
last two comedians. And I could brag a little bit on me. So this is what happened.
Please
Um
do.
so and they did the studio audience thing and had people come in so that we had an actual audience. The we were doing different rounds to see who would end up being the people in the pilot. And like I'm looking at all the comics that were on that in my head right now, and at least 5 of them have quit since then. Because a lot of people don't stay. They don't keep going. They just stop doing comedy at some point.
It's hard. You don't make money, at first, and you have a lot of no's and a lot of meh, so yeah.
Yeah. So I got into the finals, and they were like, okay, with who we have to pick from, we need to call in a major to make this tape pop for, this to work. So, and they were like, Sam's kicking everybody's ass. So he's just gonna win and it's gonna seem real lopsided. So let's get somebody that like is in already kind of doing it. So they call somebody, I'm gonna leave their name out of this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
is already doing much better than all of us to be in the competition with us. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's no way. You know what I mean? Like, all right, now I'm gonna be the runner up, which is fine because I'm not gonna beat this
Right, right.
person. And we do the show and it goes really well. And I beat that person in the finals
Awesome.
because it was crowd reaction, I guess,
Right, same. Yeah.
and I won the prize because they actually gave a real prize for it because they wanted to simulate it and whatnot. It wasn't anything big, but still. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, Hollywood, right? I'm like, well, I did really good on the TV
So here we
thing.
go. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, like let's do this thing. It's
Yeah,
over
come
with.
on. Find my light. Yeah,
And it
exactly.
was like, thank you. That went really good. We, shook hands with everybody, and that person that's doing great that I beat never said another word to me.
And do you cross paths with this, comedian ever on shows?
No, but I always see them on like the big stuff that I'm like, damn, that's
Yeah.
where I was hoping to end up.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned like you can do too good in the wrong space and mess yourself up too. Like this game is so weird, you know?
It is weird. Yeah. That's unfortunate because it's like as much as comedians talk about lifting each other up too, and I got your back and all this kind of stuff. And it's similar with singers too. You can do the same. I did, too well and not necessarily if you're in the wrong room and the wrong people making the decisions, then you can get fucked. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely get fucked. I mean, it's not as common in like the high arts with what we deal with, but it is in different ways. I would say it's a different kind of fuck you. It's more elegant. It's a
A
more
different
elegant
kind
fuck
of
you.
fuck you. Yep, that's
It's a
exactly
different
it.
kind of fuck you. It's a more elegant. It's with pearls. It's with pearls and diamonds rather than high fives and bumps.
That's
It's a
exactly it.
different vibe, and so, but it's the same shit. It's still performing. It's still performing arts. I mean, comedy is performing arts. It's an art. It's not a, gig. It's an art
Yes.
form. And is what I'm learning as a singer and as a high art singer, how similar the stage time, the way that you pace jokes, the way it's the same as pacing a recital of classical music, if you can believe it. It's the
Mhm.
same. It's not the same, but it's like in my head, I'm like, "Oh, this is that Schubert song. This is that Schubert joke. This is
Yeah,
that
the
Mozart. The Mozart joke's coming. It's quick and spicy." And then we have the Beethoven. It's a little heavier. It's got a little story. It's like
the core
they all
mechanic
have
is the
correlations.
same in
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that from musicians to, people that do film. That
Yes.
that part of the process, I think, is across the board. It just looks a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the skill set itself and the work ethic is the same, I think. I think if you do it well on all counts, I think it's the same. I think what you said, if you do good work and you just try and be as undeniable as you can in every category, something will likely happen because you're
Mhm.
not giving up, you're not stopping. And it's like, God, it's like a mosquito in my ear. You just keep popping up. It's like
Yeah.
you're on my feed. What the hell? It's
Undeniable.
like undeniable. That's exactly it. Undeniable.
Uh,
You ever have a situation on stage where shit went sideways and you got yourself out or you didn't?
Um, I hate saying this because when comics say this, it makes them sound like they're pompous with it, but I don't bomb much.
No, no, no.
You know,
That's awesome.
I remember times that it's happened, and it is few and far between. You know what? This one's fun from one of my road gigs out there in the
Nice.
Midwest. Whenever we go to one of these towns, I look up the town's demographics just to
Of
see, you know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah.
And I do that, and I also do a joke about a racist taxidermist. And I'm like, if I call, that's the guy I'm worried about because he gonna catch me and fill me with cotton, right? And and I love doing that joke in a small
That's
white town
good.
because like I like that I want them to know that it's okay to laugh at it. It's just funny,
Yeah.
like it's okay, and that's
It's
the
meant
point
to
of it.
be laughed at. It's meant to be. Yeah.
It's
It's literally,
ridiculous,
yeah.
you know. And one particular town I did it in, like how after you've done a joke 50 times on stage, you kind of know the reaction you're gonna get back from it
Hmm.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
They hit me with a wall of laughter so hard when I said that joke. It was like, why was that so funny? You know what I mean? Like, it made
Right. Like
me go, why did that go
maybe I
that high?
should leave.
What? And I was just like, well, I mean, it's not like a big laugh is a bad thing. So I'm just went through my set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is one of them towns where I was probably one of the only black people in a ways. And then I'm going through my set and I'm getting ready to close. And I did the whole thing about the demographics of the town and that they only had 4 black people or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got another huge laugh that I didn't expect to get,
That's
right?
really interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So a guy is like crying at this point, like keeling over in his chair. And I said, okay, what the fuck's going on in here? What's so funny? I had to ask, like, I'm
And
performing,
what?
you know?
Yeah.
And this dude goes, you have no idea. There are only like 2 black people in town. And one of them is the taxidermist.
Oh no. Oh my God.
So
What a perfect.
they had no idea I knew that. There was no way for me to know that. But that's why them collectively as a small town were dying at the notion of him being that type of person.
Dude,
You
that's a
know?
beautiful story. That's so funny. You served it up on a platter and it was, I mean, you couldn't have gotten that any better.
I
Like
couldn't have
that's
written it myself, right?
what a gift. Yeah, what a
Yeah.
gift. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That was one of those moments on stage where I was just like, Jesus, like I was that spot on in some
Oh
small
shit.
town, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you record it? I hope you recorded that
I
that reaction.
I don't know if he got that or not. Not even
That's
sure.
funny. Was that this last tour, the one that you just did?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's so cool. I haven't had a lot. I've had some bombs. I mean, I'm new still. I'm 3 years in. I've had a couple bombs here and there. Most of my stories come from, like singing, but I've had a couple just fall flat, but it's mostly just because of timing and because I knew I was like, I need to work that joke more. It's not very good yet, and I'm just trying it. But it never really like I haven't had catastrophic things because I'll usually end with my ender, which will lift the room a little bit, which is that karaoke joke with the hip hop, thing that I'll usually close with like, this is my closing number, but it always gets a good reaction and it's fun. So I feel like that is a lifeline that sometimes will save me if things aren't going great. I'll pivot to that closer sometimes a little earlier and start taking requests.
Oh, okay. Cause see, yeah, I
Operatic.
thought yeah, I would think, well, not even think, LA is just a hard place to build long sets.
It is. I got to do 20 at a bar, and that was a great experience because there were only like 6 people there, but there was no pressure on me, and I was able to take the time and let the set breathe a little bit more. And
Mhm.
while I didn't get good reactions, I was like, "This is exactly what you need right now because LA is not gonna give you this." Because I live in Long Beach. This was a Long Beach spot that through Cosmic Comedy, they were giving me monthly spots when this place was still around, and I was able to work some material, like, get a nice set like spaced out a bit where it wasn't like a 6-minute spot and I had to shove every laugh into 6 minutes
In the
and
6
feel
minutes. Right.
panicked. It's like when they can give me 12, it's like, oh, just let me pause.
Yeah, you
Let
can
me give a
breathe,
look.
right? Like, you
Yeah,
don't
because
you need to learn how to do that, and in LA, you feel like you gotta cut to the quick so fast, like, I gotta hurry up and get to it because 1, I only got this much time, and I need to make as big an impact as I possibly can, as fast as I possibly can. I hate it, I hate it. That's why I don't mic in LA. I don't open
because
mic
it's
out
like
there.
they're all sort of like bringer here anyway from what I can feel, at least at my level. It's
They
like it's
it
hard.
is.
Yeah, it seems like any level you have to bring, and it's really my audience is hard to bring because they all perform for a lot of them perform for a living too. So it's like, when you're a comic and you're off that night and if you have family or something, you got to balance it. And so for me, I can't be driving up to Hollywood every night to support some guy at a
Yes.
mic. As much as I love them, I'll support them in any other way, but I can't always be in the room because I'm 52. So I have
Oh,
to find
no,
other
you
ways to
you
do this,
absolutely right, and I feel
Yeah.
like, we need to be more, like, accepting of that from each other because I think all of us get in our own head about, like, "Hey, man, I'm your boy too, like, can you come support?" And we're running in the same race,
Yeah,
And, yeah,
exactly.
if
Yeah,
if I could teleport I live 2 hours from LA. So, like,
yeah.
if I could teleport, yeah, I'd support everybody as everything I could, but the reality of it is if there's a night we're not working, like, yeah, we need to utilize that time too, and we can't just be sitting at the club. That's a huge time consumption, you know?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be writing, I could be doing my own mic at that point, practicing my own stuff, honing my own skills. I feel the same way about singing. Like a lot of my friends are like, "You didn't come to my new opera," and I'm like, "Well, first of all, I know what I know what that new opera entails. So it's 3 hours and that's long, and I don't know if I have as much as I sing it, I don't know if I have the attention span past a half hour to even sit through a lot of operas anymore, being in a TikTok world, but also just like, I it's like it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, you need people that like opera to come to your opera, not necessarily other singers that are going to beat the shit out of a new opera or judge every voice that's coming out of there or whatever. I find that happening too. Like a lot of singers are fans of singing, but not necessarily fans of opera. So, and
Mhm.
so, yeah, and it's the same thing. It's like comics. It's hard. They're a hard crowd to please. It's hard to get a joke to land in a group of comics because everyone's too cool for school. I'm a laugher. I will laugh at your shit sometimes if the timing is right. And there's nothing funny about it. I'll just be there, and that's not I have to like fix that a little bit because it's just a reaction. I'll be like, "Ha!" I'm like, "Oh shit, that wasn't funny. I hope I didn't fuck that comic up by giving them a courtesy laugh."
Yeah.
So I'm still
See?
finding that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wanna fuck you over like,
Oh, shit.
yeah, dude," is like just because 'cause I'm trying to be rah-rah because I typically am I'm a teacher too, so I have this rah-rah, like, "You got this. Come on, go,
Yeah.
go." Cheerleading side to me, and I'm positive, but that sometimes bites me in the ass when I'm trying to help somebody else. Like, "You fucking laughed at that. It was not funny. Fuck you." You're like, "Sorry, my bad."
Now, were you being a teacher, and this is interesting. I'm glad you said that. It's a good segue too. With you being a teacher and doing comedy,
Mhm.
do you find it hard to not say all the words?
So I teach at a college,
Okay.
and that's where I feel so here's my get out of jail free card on this, in my opinion. I don't know. So far, I teach just classical voice or just voice, like it is not classical, just voice. So like somebody comes in, I was like, I want to learn how to sing. I took the class. It's a one-on-one for an hour or a half hour with either place that I teach. I teach at El Camino College in Torrance, and then I teach over at University of Laverne in Laverne. And I probably have about 14 students a week on the regular, and I'll just see them for little meetings. And so I'm not teaching a class. I'm not in front of the admin very much and all that kind of stuff. I don't have a lot of face time with people above me, I guess you could say. And so I just kind of do my gig and log my hours and hope and they learn and get better. And I check off the boxes of like, yes, I've met them for 12 meetings this semester or 16 meetings over at the other place and we're good to go. And you've learned your shit and you've sung it from memory and you're good. Now, no one's yet. I've been doing, bits online for about 3 years, and most of it is sketch niche for singers. It's like singer shit, but it's funny, and sometimes it is off color. Like I will go there, but no one, knock on wood, as of yet, no one has flagged me for it or said no, you can't do that. And I've had students come to my shows, but they're all of adult age, so they're all
Yeah,
18 and older.
everybody's
So I
grown.
feel like it's okay. Like I do teach. I did do a Cal Arts thing for the last 2 summers, with kids, and I was teaching kids how to sing one-on-one too. But again, they're one-on-one, they weren't classes, and it was kind of a summer stop, and then I was out. It was for the state. I mean, it technically goes through the state, but no one put the correlation of I'm not a big comic, I'm not super famous or anything. I have a few followers here and there, so I'm still kinda grinding, so I no one's really said anything, luckily, at this point. I'm sure if they do, I'll have to modify maybe, but I'm trying to go more clean anyway, just so that I can be a little bit more. I'm realizing a lot of the stuff I want to say doesn't necessarily need to have a lot of fucks in it or shits. They can punctuate it, but the premises are not necessarily all dirty. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like I can distill. I'm trying to mess with distilling some of this so that I really have some good clean sets as well. And it's just funny. It's like I particularly love dirty comedy and dirty humor, and I am kind of wired that way. But at the same time, it's like my audience is kind of half and half, and so it's like I don't know exactly. I'm still trying to find that. What's genuine to me and what's genuine to the audience at the same time is what I'm still trying to find. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a long time with that. A buddy of mine had pointed out, like, he was listening to my set and he was like, it's funny, but it's not you. Like,
Right.
and he's like, not to say it's not your material. It just doesn't feel personal. It just sounds like you're just telling jokes. And then I had to find that bridge in my material to make it my own, you know?
Yours seemed very personal. I will say in your 3-minute set, I felt like I got a piece of you on that, like not just jokes. You had some great like one-liners here and there just to kind of keep the audience going, and you built a nice cadence, built it up to a nice cadence, but it was just like I loved, you immediately talked about the military. You talked about the military a little bit. You talked a little bit about your life. I'm like, okay, I kind of get a lens of where this guy comes from,
Hmm.
and the towel and all that stuff. I was really like, I was interested. I was like super interested, and I was like, oh, I want to know more about you, like just as a person. I want to hang out, and I think, in my opinion, that is the goal to being a good comedian. Is that I like all these people that I hear and listen to all fucking day with podcasts. I want to get to know them. I want to hang out with them. I want to go get a beer with them. I want to like chill with them.
Yeah,
So I mean,
interesting people, just interesting
yeah,
people. That room was just full of them, and yeah, I was like, how do you stand out in 3 minutes? On something like this, and
Yeah.
Like, because of that story I told you about the previous show, like, fortunately, I'm practiced in it, you know? I was pacing probably the whole time we were at this one, just kinda looking around, observing who was who, and seeing where I needed to like, I think I changed my set 4 times in the room.
Wow.
At least 4 times in
Wow.
the room, where I was like, okay," or I heard somebody exhaust something on stage that was like, they didn't even do that well, but I'm not gonna touch it now because of that.
It's already been yeah, it's already
Right.
been aired into the room. Yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody did a bad Diddy joke or something, and I was like, "Alright, Imma leave it alone."
Yeah, there were a lot. There were, I think, a couple Diddy jokes, and then there was, yeah, there was some current events. I would say that they didn't like land the way it could have necessarily for them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and I was like, "I'm
yeah,
really proud of my Diddy joke, and it kills, but I can't do it now because now they're tired of just hearing somebody like, 'Here go another Diddy,' you know? Especially when you know the judges are mostly comedians, they know that it's like a mental loop that we go in. So I was like, "I'm not even gonna put put 'em back in there to dock me before I start talking."
yeah. They were already logging how many jokes they'd heard about that for sure. I'm
Probably.
sure. And they're with internal eye roll on some of it because it's like, okay, this has been played out already, sort of thing. It's like we hear this in the club, on a showcase like 9 times before we even get to the headliner.
Oh,
And then the
yeah.
headliner hits it like 9 times during their set. I do a Trump, and because I played Trump in Detroit in an opera about Central Park 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a little heavy. Um, yeah, talk about yeah,
Yeah,
talk
that's
talk
one
about
that's
talk
deep
about
in there.
dude, talk about feeling it. And we did table work for it. We like read the script. Yeah, we did table work for it. It was,
Ugh.
and luckily I knew most of the people that played the five, the guys that played the five. They're friend. A lot of them friends of mine I've known for years. We all ended up in Detroit at Detroit Opera to come together to make this really incredible performance, which was written by an amazing composer, a jazz guy. Really, anyway, they really wanted to stick it to Trump, which I was all for. And the second time I got to play this, but I just watched comedians, play Trump. But I pulled away from that 3-minute set doing any Trump stuff because I was just like, I don't want it to be hacky or, like I
Yeah.
don't want to go or I don't want like my impression of Trump, which it's okay. It got pretty good, but then it was like, what if it sucks? What if it's not quite there? And what if you just are about to hear how not there it's gonna be in
That's
about three
that
minutes?
hard part about doing impressions, man, like, you better
Yeah.
impress. It is the key word
Undeniable.
there.
Yeah. That's exactly. You better impress. That's good. I like that. That's um That's true. Why do you perform? I'm curious. Why do you even do this? I'm sorry to segue so fast, but I'm just curious about why do you do this?
Um, wow. I feel like I
I'm
have
just
to
curious.
now. I feel
Yeah.
like I have to now because it probably saved me from a super dark place.
Mhm.
For anybody, watching and listening, the towel is a mental health thing, and I had lost my mind, so it's my reminder to tell people to take care of themselves. And,
Yeah.
you don't really know when you're going through it. Like, I was in the military, and I would come down to open mic every Monday for a year. And
Wow.
at Universal City Walk, there was a club, John Lovett's Club. That's where I started at.
Nice.
Um, and, it was a commitment, that probably was driven by me having that military just go do it thing at the time. But now, after I've been through what I've been through, I'm in like a give back mode. For me now, it's giving back to the veterans and doing shows for more veteran organizations. Jake raises money for cancer, and he's a cancer survivor as well. I just got to like I don't feel like I have time to waste point in my career, and I do it because I don't know what else I'd be doing.
That's beautiful. I love that. I think I feel similarly about performing anyway. I don't know. I didn't lose my mind that I know of. My wife thinks I've lost my mind.
Well, they all do. They all
Complete
do. Yeah.
yeah, and there's no coming back from that anyway. That's gonna go on for years anyway, but, she'll continue to think I'm nuts for doing this, like, it's like, "Stand up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, unfortunately." She says, "Yeah, you were kinda good." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't that you're the one that said it." I'm like, "You said it." I'm like I was like, "Nah, this is bullshit," but I'm glad to hear that though, it does feel like once you get into it, there is a I guess it's like a personal obligation, but then when you feel that you've given to somebody else, I'm sure there's an obligation to keep giving that to people. If you know you have the ability to make somebody laugh or forget about their day in some way and it helps to heal or even just entertain, there is an obligation. I feel like I feel it. I
Yeah.
don't, you must feel it tenfold,
Yeah. It
based on
can't be for
what's gone on.
nothing. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, we sit in a I don't get entertainers that don't get how much of a privilege it is to do this, you know?
Yeah.
And
No,
I
it is.
can
It's
go
absolutely yeah.
to a lot of places, and a lot of these places you go to, it's not travel is one of people's biggest dreams in the world. A lot of people don't get to do it. So for us to be invited to a place and perform is absolutely a privilege, right?
I
But
agree.
because
Yeah.
of that, like getting a different perspective around the world, like, yeah, you do feel a sense of responsibility to like make everybody enjoy each other,
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know?
Make it a welcoming space for everybody.
Yeah.
And also just like I don't know. Just the fact that you can just the fact that you can walk up to on a stage and make somebody completely, release their emotions like that, outwardly is such a gift, I think. To if you have the gift to get that out of somebody, I'm always grateful for my friends that get me out of a funk, and it's like you're kind of like that friend that gets somebody out of a funk on stage, you're
Mhm.
that person. And if you have the ability to connect that fast to somebody and like show and open the door, and be like, here, this is me. It's a huge gift.
Mhm.
Yeah, I respect the fact that you're doing this like, for real, you're booking tours, I mean, that's insane to me. I know I'll get there, but it's just to me, it's like, no, I'm serious, like,
Well
I'm just like,
well,
"Whoa."
just make no mistake, like, when I go on the like, the Joker and Jester thing, it is Jake's brand. Like, I have friends that have put together like this. My friends that do the DD 214 tour, and it's all vets, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
they've
yeah.
branded themselves, and they've already done the done I put myself on tour a few times, or I called places, but it was never as concise as the Joker and Jester tour. His are, like,
Right.
rock solid, 3 months types of shit. So yeah, and it's just the work. It's just the work. Like that none of us want to do all the parts of the job.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we just want we wanna land. We wanna land on a
Yeah.
theater stage,
Yeah,
for
we don't wanna
Netflix
do all the
and
parts of the job as comics, like, there's the keeping your own books and schedule and calling people and keeping track of who's where and building a mailing list and making sure your material's funny and putting out 3 clips a day at peak times and, like
that is a
yeah.
hard thing in itself, right? Do
Yes.
you do all your own editing and clipping and stuff and
Yes,
posting
and
every
it
day?
is
And
so time consuming, and it gets
it's
faster.
exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do 1 to 2 a day, and they're often just sketch or ideas or me talking to the camera or doing something, but I would just find in terms of, like, the timing of it is still hard for me. I don't always get it out at peak times based on my schedule, and I'm like, that alone, I should have just a schedule built into my regimen, to, like, lock it in every time. I don't have enough
Yeah.
stand-up clips and enough joke material, in my opinion, to do a stand-up clip every day at this
Yeah,
point because
I
it
mean,
just
I'm just now starting to, like, put my stand-up in reels because for the longest time, you tell yourself, like, "I don't wanna burn my material," and stuff like that,
yeah,
you know? And
right, right.
you're not really burning it, like, until it's been on TV, ain't nobody seen it, you know?
That's what I say, until it's, like, in an hour special. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the guy's like, "Until it's in an hour special," he goes, "I ended with the same thing for, like, years until I actually put it on DVD or whatever it was back in the day." He's like, "Because And then all of these comics are telling me, "You gotta have new shit," and he goes, I goes, "I thought it was I think it's bullshit," because he's like, half these people that in these clubs and even with stuff clipped and put online haven't heard this stuff yet, and if they did, they actually appreciated the fact that that's the reason they came because they wanted to hear that joke.
Right.
So it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I know that comics say one thing where it's like, "You gotta have," of course you have to write, of course you have to create, of course you have to do stuff, but if something's good, like I sing the shit out of a few arias, you think I'm just gonna throw those away?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm gonna throw those bangers on the set with some new stuff and like, oh yeah, you know?
Yeah, like if I'm a big fan of any artist, and then I know some of their work already, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Hmm.
like I went to see Prince in concert. If he hadn't done Purple Rain, I would have bitched.
Yeah, I would have
Like
bitched
I'm
too.
not gonna be in the audience going, "Well, I've heard Purple Rain." You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like
how grateful are you? No, but seriously, let's have a moment. How grateful are you that you saw that artist live? I mean,
live
now
in Italy,
you saw Prince.
live
Where?
in Italy. Yep, he was live performing in Italy with Andy Allo.
Which venue?
Umbria.
Oh my God. So it was in the stadium there.
Outside, yep, outdoor venue.
Oh, what what an incredible.
Yeah, Prince
It's so
is
cool to me.
I like it. It is a life-changing type of show. Yeah.
Yeah, Prince is a goat. I mean, that's incredible. Yeah. Was he with the new power gener? What was he? Okay, what was a permutation? Because he's gone through like several. Like he's the
This was
revolution, the power generation.
2008, 9,
He's
somewhere
just
in there.
the artist. So he was the artist.
I think he was the
The
artist
artist.
still. Yeah.
No, yeah, still the artist. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he had
That's
Andy Allo with him, and I became an instant fan of her. She opened up for him, and it was like she could have been to concert. And then he
really.
came out and decided to play a guitar till he got tired of it, and he like looked at it like he was disgusted and like held it behind him, and somebody brought him another one, and he just kept jamming.
He probably threw that one away. He's like, I'm
He's
done
like,
with
"Hey,
this.
this one bores me." I don't know.
Disposable. It's a disposable guitar. Trying to think of any more questions I got for you. Do you any questions for me? I don't know. We're just chatting, but we're almost at the hour. I don't want to hold you up or
Yeah, I
anything
got to
if you got
record
something to
other.
do.
Yeah, I got 2 other shows to do today, actually.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Awesome.
but yeah, thank you for having me on, dude. Like you, like I said at the show, I was like, this dude was genuinely funny. If you hadn't told me that
Kind.
you were doing it for 3 years, I wouldn't have believed you.
Oh, that's really nice, man.
So
I appreciate it. I'm just. I mean, I love performing, so I think I love the stage and just being up there, and I'm comfortable up there, and that's feels more like home sometimes than the world. So it's kind of a nice escape for me. And thank you. That's really kind. And about you,
absolutely,
sir, Sam, you're one of the funniest. You're one of the funniest dudes I watch. Please go to his all of his social media accounts. Please look up. Do you have a website, Sam Ridley?
yeah. Everything's Sam Ridley comedy. Like if you type
Sam
that,
Ridley
and
comedy.
the website has stuff, the TikTok, the YouTube, like yeah, it's everywhere.
Go everywhere and see him, and go see him live because he is funny, funny, funny. And I'm so grateful for your time today. I know you've got a lot going on. I know you're a very busy man, and I'm grateful that you would take the time to chat with me. So thank you so
Oh,
much. I'm
awesome,
really
awesome,
grateful.
man. Like anytime, absolutely anytime, dude.
And I hope we get to perform together sometime just so I can learn something from you, man.
We
So,
definitely will.
truthfully, no, I'm not
We
kidding. You're
definitely
real
will.
funny.
Like I'm sure I'll be back down in the area, as shows pop up and whatnot. We'll definitely link. I'd love to do
Well, if
that.
you do, hit me up.
All right.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. Sam Ridley, everybody. Thanks.